Hey, this is René, welcome back to another video on this channel, and today I want to talk about the FTMO challenge, again, the one that I lost, but there are some interesting things happening in the past, especially in the past 1 or 2 weeks, and I want to talk about this a little bit. So what you can see here in the background is the account that I traded for this challenge. So first for the challenge phase, then the verification phase, and I did a lot of videos, I did a lot of live streams, I streamed everything 24/7 live. So if you're interested, you can always go back and watch the videos that I still have on my channel. And also this video is really important. It's not only about like showing you the account and stuff. I will give you or tell you a really important message about trading that is so intense and so important that everyone really has to know this who wants to be successful in trading. So please watch the whole video. So what we can see here is, like, at the first glance, we can see that the equity is now at around 102,000 USD. And this was way below this point when I failed the challenge. When I failed the challenge, the account was at around 82,000, I think, so way below this level. And this is still the completely same account, so you can compare the account number to the FTMO overview here. So you can see it's exactly the same account. It is still alive, so it's a demo account. FTMO does not close the account when the challenge is lost, so it's completely the same account. And in the last weeks it recovered like crazy, and we will have a look at the performance in a second in another trading journal. And also you can see, if we have a look at the last few trading days, you can see there were a lot of really crazy big winners. For example, this USD Japanese yen. Then we had some wins in the indices. We had another big USD Japanese yen profit. And all of these profits add up to this crazy increase in the performance in the last few weeks. And this shows that you should not only have a look at a strategy for only 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 months, but you should also always focus on the bigger picture. Because from my experience, I can tell you that 1 or 2 months for a strategy absolutely means nothing. And it is more important that you have a strategy that can be consistent in the long run. So let's have a look again maybe at this FTMO metrics here. So this was after the 2 months that I traded the verification. Or in the 2 months, especially like in the first month, there was a lot of sideways movement. There was a little drawdown, which recovered. It was close to the profit target multiple times. And then in the last few weeks, the equity curve dropped like really heavily. And this was also because I increased the risk by 50%. So somewhere around here, I think I increased the risk from 0.5% per trade to 0.75%. So that was an increase of 50. And this is why the curve has stronger moves like in the last quarter of this graphic. But yeah, you can see there was a really big drawdown, which was really unfortunate. But also, like in this period, I did several videos where I compared this performance to the backtesting performance in the same period, and especially to the backtesting performance in the last 2 or 3 years. And there we saw that the period where I tested the program, like in this period, it was just a really unlucky moment that I used the program, or that I traded the program, which was in relation to the previous 2 years, just a really bad period. And yeah, we can see here that none of the markets was really able to perform. But what happened since this point here? So you can see at the 3rd of March, when I lost the verification, this graphic is no longer updated, but still I have the account running. So I just exported the trades and imported it to my own trading journal, this trade buddy here. And you can see this is also the same account. So you can see there are 372 trades. The profit right now is 1,680. And if we compare this to the account, this is indeed the balance or the profit that is here. It is not taking into account the open positions, so the profit is a little bit higher in the trade buddy, because here in this balance there's already a little bit less because of the commission for the open trades, but this is the same account. And if we compare the graphic here, we can see quite easily that if we can compare this performance to the performance in this online metrics, you can see the first few weeks or moves are completely the same. So we have like this sideways movement, the little increase here, then the drawdown, this which was recovered, blah, blah, blah. And then here we had this crazy big drawdown. And at the 3rd of March, I think, which was somewhere here, the challenge was over. Yeah, somewhere at this point, I would say, or even at this point, the challenge was over. So this was nearly at the very low of this graphic here. And the crazy thing is, from this point on, like, there were 2 or 3 more bad days, but then from this point on, it was only going great. And the strategy, I didn't change anything like on the server here. It's still running in the same account with the same settings in every market, and it was extremely well since this point when the challenge was over. And it's crazy. I can show some screenshots from my phone. In the last week, I think there was a profit of around 20%. And the problem that these prop firm challenges, or the big risk that you have when you trade a prop firm challenge, like even if you have a good strategy, and I still believe that this range breakout EA is a good strategy, because you can see, I mean, there are periods where it's more sideways, but still it doesn't really matter if there are periods like the last week where you can make 20%. So it's always, you have to look at the strategy after a year or two to see if it was really a good strategy. So the problem with the prop firms is that you only have like 1 or 2 months. And in these 1 or 2 months, you really have to make the performance in order to pass the challenge. And if we just have a look at this, I mean, this graphic shows like 2.5 months of trading. And in the first 2 months, as we saw with my live project, I was not able to pass it. But if I would have started another challenge, like directly after I failed the last one, I would have already won it in around a week. So this is like the crazy thing about these prop firms. You never really know what comes next when you trade a strategy. So you cannot really predict if you will win or lose a prop firm challenge. And this is not only for the case for this EA, this is pretty much for every EA, or at least for the EAs that I tested. Every EA has good and bad periods. And it's not like you can say that if 1 month is bad, the strategy overall is bad. So yeah, this is just my little input to catch up with the challenge or with the challenge account. I think I will still use this account as long as FTMO doesn't shut it down. So I can see how it develops. Maybe I can even make the 5% in the next few weeks. I mean, it's too late to win the challenge. This is now just for me to see how the settings perform here. Maybe I will make another comparison to the back test to just see like where are the similarities and if there are big gaps, like if I compare the back test to the actual live results. And yeah, so you can see it can change really quickly with an account or with a portfolio that you trade. And it's not a good way to just look at 1 or 2 months of trading and then say it is a good or bad strategy. So please always make sure that you have a look at a longer period of time. Also, when you make back tests, do not only test like 1 or 2 weeks or month. Make sure that you test multiple years. Maybe like 3 to 5 years would be a good start. Usually I also make longer back tests, but I like focus on the last 3 to 5 years at the moment to really see how a strategy can perform and to get a good feeling for it. And like for a strategy like this range breakout strategy, which really needs strong market moves, it is kind of typical that you have longer periods where it's not really performing. And then if there are good there are good market conditions for the strategy, then it can make then it can give a good performance boost, like I just saw in this account in the last week. And this performance boost then can be enough to cover all the losses, all the sideways movements from the previous 2 or 3 months. So this was a little. Oh, maybe one last thing. I can show you like if I filter for the strategies or the symbols, I can show in which markets it performed good and bad. And this is the last thing that I will do in this video, just to catch up with this project and to let you know how the strategy can perform if there are really good market periods or market conditions. So let's start filtering the German index, the German 40. So you can see this one, that was really good in the first few days. Then there was a lot of sideways movement, a little bit of losing, then a extreme losing period where this single strategy or this single market lost around 12K, which is really a lot. And I talked about this in other videos. This was also due to high slippage and negative effects that you especially see for indices and breakout strategies. But also in the last week, it recovered a lot of these losses already, like 7K or so. So let's jump to the next index, maybe US 30. This one was doing far better for most of the time. Then there were some losing trades, but yeah, also the last week I think was overall really good. So this in the last 2.5 months, this strategy made like 2.5 or 3K in profit. So if we now go to the the currencies here, yeah, we see that USD Japanese yen is by far the best performing market, I think, in this portfolio. That was extremely good in the first period of the verification phase of this FTMO challenge. Then there was a longer period without good market conditions. But in the last week, and this is, yeah, again, what this video is about, you really need like good market conditions for your strategies to perform, but then it can really accelerate and boost the performance. In just like 1 week, for example, this strategy made like, I think, 13 or 14K in this account, which is really covering all the losses from the previous 3 weeks, and it's even making more profits than the losses. So then we have Euro US dollar, which was most of the time not performing in the verification phase. This was for most of the time the worst market. But then also in the last 1 or 2 weeks, it recovered nearly all the losses and is now more or less break even. So the last market is GBP USD, and I think this is not really performing great. No, it's not. This is one of the worst markets, but I think still like a loss of 4K is not too much if you trade with 750 USD per trade. So this might as well also recover in the next weeks. So you can see like USD Japanese yen was by far the best market. I think US 30 was also quite okay. The rest was, Euro US dollar was more or less break even, and the German index and the GBP USD were not doing that great, but that's always the same, and that's why you trade a portfolio, to have symbols that perform and symbols that do not perform that great in a period, so you get some kind of a portfolio performance in the end, which should then in the best case be positive. So okay, so I hope you liked this little update on the range breakout portfolio. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And it's still kind of sad that I lost the verification, or that I traded it in such a unlucky period. But it's good to see that if the market conditions are good for the strategy is still able to perform or outperform a lot of other strategies. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we will see each other in the next video. Have a great time and good trades. Bye bye.